And we live.
We live, baby.
So, Jeff, you tricked me. So I thought I was coming here
Okay.
to record your podcast.
Okay.
Right? So the Introspect. I was here, last year? I did your podcast?
You were here. Was it around this time last year? No, it was like in the summertime. Last year.
Yeah, I had shorts on.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I got shorts on. Showing my ankles and my.
Now, before you had a co-host, you had a sidekick with you.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it dolo. I was coming here to record my episode over or just to do another episode on yours. And you tricked me. So this is probably the first time I've ever done a in-person live episode of my podcast.
Yeah.
Normally I'll give the questionnaire a day before, 2 days before.
Okay.
You did it right on the spot. So I'm looking at your questionnaire. Let me bring it up.
All right.
And I caught you off guard because you had several exes.
Several exes. Damn, you just called me a ho-ho. A ho-ho.
Right. And you can, normally I ask the person that's on my podcast for the most impactful. And you had to really sit and think about it.
Well, should I let people know who I am so they know where?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Your name is Jeff. They know that already.
All right, cool.
So now
I can give my fake name.
Right. So yeah, let's start that. Jeff, go ahead. Tell them who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff. Your background, because that's important.
Yeah. So my name is Jeff Demise. For those who don't know the last name, that is Haitian descent.
Orange flag.
Orange flag. What you mean orange flag? Wait a minute.
It's one notch of.
You know what's crazy? Every time I mention to a woman I'm Haitian, they're like, see, y'all got like a bunch of baby mamas. Y'all got this.
I have a whole list.
Y'all got a harem. Then I tell them I'm a Gemini. They're like, we gotta go.
I'm a Gemini too. When's your birthday?
June 18th.
Oh, you're the June Gemini. See, that's even worse. I always say it like this. You got Biggie and Tupac. Who's the wildest?
I guess Tupac.
June. Biggie was May. So I'm May 25th.
Either way, listen, Haitian, Gemini, say what you want. I'm the host of the Introspect Club Podcast. That's on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts and so on and so forth. But enough about mines. We're here on your podcast.
Views of an X,
which is I heard some of the episodes on your podcast. Loved it. Kind of addicted to some of the episodes, and I kind of had to stay away from it a little bit because I felt like a lot of toxicity was entering my brain.
Yeah, it'd be that.
But I did listen to some episodes, and I was like, you know what? Let me contribute to this because I feel like part of the healing process is, helping people understand that they're not the only ones going through certain things, and whoever can relate to my story, great. Fine.
Got you. And I don't know what's about to happen, but we're gonna enter the story. And first, I like to ask the fake name of the ex. Now, before you give it, you got to describe how the ex look. Like, throw them off, right?
Bro, you killing me.
You don't have to be fully detailed. You could just give if they walked into this room, what you think they would have on, so, the height, everything like that.
All right, so she was kind of tall as in like 5'8".
Okay.
Right?
How tall are you?
I'm 6.
All right.
With my haircut. I'm about 6 even. She was like 5'8". Let's just say she was a bit of a stallion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Stick.
No, I like athletic.
Okay.
I like athletic fit.
Now, when you say stallion, that's like Meg the Stallion, how thick she is.
No.
Jordan Woods.
Nah, she had a badonkadonk. Everybody know her for that. But athletic fit, tall, poofy hair.
How does she dress? Classy, tomboyish.
It depends. Like,
if we just Fashion Nova type.
Huh?
Fashion Nova wear.
I don't know what Fashion Nova is.
Think of Nicki Minaj type stuff without the designer.
Nah.
Cardi B. Think of
Nah. She wasn't like that. She did some modeling and stuff. So she wore like some classy stuff, but mostly like, I don't know how to describe it, but she had some fashion to it. I'm not a fashion guy. So I can't even describe it. Like, if a woman looks nice, she looks nice. I can't be like, she had the.
So she's well put together.
She's put together. I mean, if we're just lounging, we lounging, but like she was dressed.
Okay. She won't embarrass you outside.
Nah.
All right, that's good. That's a good thing. Nah. All right, and what's the fake name you like to give her? Was she black, white?
She was black.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the fake name you would give her?
Fake name, I'm gonna give her.
Or I could give it.
Huh? You want to give a fake name?
The way you described it, athletic build. Let's call her Rachel.
Rachel. All right.
So you got to remember that name for the whole podcast.
Damn, I might slip up and say the real name. Rachel. That's her
right.
fake name today.
Or Ray. Rachel Ray.
I'm not gonna call it Rachel Ray.
All right.
They're gonna start googling Rachel Ray. Jeff dated Rachel Ray. Like
So,
no.
Rachel, it is. So take us back to where you first met. And how old were you at the time?
I was 29 years old.
Okay.
29.
Yeah.
I was 6 months away from being 30. Yeah.
Man, all right. So take us back to where you first met.
Where we first met. All right. So how did we meet? So here's what happened, right? So I had first moved to New York.
All right.
And my brother and I was hosting like a masquerade ball, right? In my apartment. I used to live in like this penthouse apartment.
Man.
in Brooklyn. And we had like a view of the city, everything like that. And I was on the top floor. And there's a reason why I'm mentioning those details. This is not just me trying to brag.
I'm about to say, yeah.
It's context. It's context, right? So I lived on the top floor in the penthouse unit of this apartment building, and we had a masquerade ball. The apartment unit had this big outdoor deck also,
Okay. Yeah.
and I put up a tent that was heated, and then
This is one of those gentrified buildings, right?
I mean, I don't know what you want.
What part of Brooklyn?
This was Crown Heights.
Yeah, it's one of those new gentrified
Crown
buildings,
Heights,
man. They try to kick us out.
Not Washington.
Blame Jeff.
What you talking?
You moved in.
You know what's crazy?
Moved some poor people out.
My friends, my friends call me a gentrifier, right? So I moved here from Florida, and I only stayed in luxury buildings, but it's not because. But hear me out. But it's not because like I'm trying to flex. Is when you're in Florida, what's a regular amenity is considered luxury in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Right. So like I had a dishwasher. It was a
Man.
It was a gated community, right on the lake. We had AC, like central air, basic stuff that like, a medium income person.
So you never seen a roach or rat in your building?
No, I mean,
Dang, see, you got it good.
Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. Here's the deal, right? So we're hosting this party. We had everybody come in with tuxedos.
Mhm.
Women had gowns, everything. The key was you had to have a mask, like one of those masquerade things, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm hosting a party. I have a bunch of friends that I know from the building. I have people that I met throughout the course of me being in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And then I was at the party hosting and stuff like that. And in walks this
Rachel.
girl.
Oh, I said Rachel or no?
Huh?
Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah, get the name.
Rachel comes in. Rachel comes in with her I guess one of her friends or something like that.
Okay.
So she comes in and she's holding like this thermos or something. I don't know why. And so she's chopping it up with a bunch of people at the party,
Mhm.
and I have a bunch of other friends that are there, but I don't know who she is. And I've had parties before, and people crash my parties all the time, or friends bring friends.
Right.
I don't always know everybody that's at the party.
Got you.
So I'm just like, this is just another person that was brought in by somebody else. So then I was just like, she didn't like. I like poofy hair women, so I usually notice you right away.
All right.
But she didn't have it at the time. She had it like back.
All right.
But I noticed her height.
Got you.
So I was just like, oh, okay, right? And she had a little, I like a little booty thing. So I was just like, all right, okay, cool. But I'm not trying to
playing it cool.
I'm playing it cool. I'm not trying to bag her. Like that just wasn't my mind, because when I'm hosting a party, I'm very busy, right?
Mhm.
So what happened? I don't know how I ended up talking to her, but then I ended up, I check in on people at parties. I'm like, how you doing?
Yeah.
How's your drink? You
You're the
good?
host, yeah.
Whatever. And there was probably about like maybe 40 people at the party
Oh,
or something like that. Yeah. So I talked to her because she didn't have a mask.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, where's your mask? Right? And she's like, oh, I didn't get an invitation to the party. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I live downstairs.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I just heard the music and I just came up. I was like, what? So you just crashed in my party? That's just what she's like, yeah. She's like, don't worry, we brought our own drinks. And that's what she had, the thermos. I was like,
Got you.
what? I was like, that's weird, but okay.
That's She came to party.
Yeah, but you come with a thermos, bro?
BYOB. Bring your own bottle.
Whatever, man. I thought it was weird. So, but I was like, all right, whatever. So she brought the thermos, and we were talking, chopping it up, bop, 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 bop. And then I was like, okay. So I exchanged information with her. I didn't really like kick it with her the whole party, but we had a little conversation. I exchanged numbers. Whatever. She lived in the building. I was like, why not?
And you had your mask on the whole time talking to her?
I don't know. I think I had it on my head.
Gotcha. All right.
Because it gets hot in there once you that many people.
Yeah.
So I was talking to her. We exchanged information. That was that, right? And I don't remember everything that happened in between, but like, it wasn't that hard to get in contact. Oh, she told me that she had seen me in the building before.
You never seen her?
I never noticed her, right? She said she saw me, but I was like, I never seen. She's like, yeah, there was a time you were in the elevator.
Dang.
I didn't notice her.
So she was clocking you. That's what that meant. Yeah.
I don't know, but the thing is, like, sometimes I'm in the zone. I'm doing my thing. Like, gotcha. I just. Anyway, she said she saw me before, but I never saw her. So I was like, all right, whatever. So anyway, so fast forward. Well, how do you want me to progress through this story? That's how we met.
So that's how you met. Yeah.
That's how we met.
So you seen her again? You seen her a couple of times after that?
The next time I was like, yo, let's kick it. Let's set up a date. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't like wishy-washy. I was like, yo, let's
she sparked your interest.
Yeah.
Or for what? Just her looks, or was
that's all you got from jump.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just had somebody who looked good. So I was just like, all right, that's all you need.
Got you. All right.
Right? What, you want me to get to like how we went out?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what happened. So I hit her up.
Wait. Let's go back. Was you Jeff like of today, or how was you before? Like, what describe Jeff at what you said 29, 30?
So 29, 30, Jeff, in terms of like a mindset when it came to like women in general, dating, or just my lifestyle.
All of that stuff.
All right. So Jeff, okay, so here's what happened, right? So before I moved to New York, I was like a serial monogamous where I was just falling into a relationship without any real like plans or goals. If somebody was cute, we talked, and then next thing you know, we end up in a relationship, no real plans, no nothing. Because I was just focused on my bag, right? Right. But then when I came to New York, like a year and a half prior to me meeting Rachel, right? Prior to me meeting Rachel, I was doing a lot of soul searching, just trying to get to know myself as a man, trying to figure out like
around that time is the time, yeah.
Exactly, right? So I started like reading up about relationships, like how to, talk to women, how to really do that. Because when I was in Florida, like you're not coming across people as you're doing in New York.
Yeah.
So I made it a point to like, okay, let's learn how to like really hone in my social skills and like be a little bit more effective in how I communicate. Things like that. And I was doing it for business as well, not just for social reasons. But it was just something I want to take advantage of because, late 20s, moving to New York City. I never lived here before. So I was just like, there's a lot of opportunities. So if I don't like hone in my social skills, I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do. Yeah. And I'm going to regret the entire experience. And I had no idea how long it's going to be. And so I was like, you know what? I'm young. I'm doing well. So let me just polish myself in as many ways as possible. Working out, mental, social, everything, right? So that's who I was before.
Yeah.
I met them. So before her, I was just dating. I was going on a lot of dates. I was meeting girls.
Now, how was you meeting them on like dating apps?
No, I was against dating apps. I was late in the dating app game.
Okay.
I was what my brother calls a purist.
You were just outside.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Like if I'm out with my friends, you see somebody, you go up to them, you talk to them. That's it.
Gotcha.
And even if you get rejected, you just do it. You just keep doing it, and then eventually you get the muscle where you're like, every no is just a step to the next yes, right? And that's the same thing in business because the role that I'm in right now, I got to build a lot of business and bring in money, and that comes in with the territory. So
right.
So I'm used to that, right? So anyway, so that was me back then. I was just kind of like having fun. Me and my brother were hanging out. We taking trips. We traveling. We doing all kinds of stuff. And I'm not really expecting to be in a relationship anytime soon or anything like that.
You went from being a monogamous person to just like,
oh yeah,
you came to New York. No, it was like, all right.
Because here's what happened when I came to New York, I was like, I'm gonna come and find my wife.
Okay.
I'm gonna come and find my girlfriend. I'm gonna come and find Bae. That's my first thought when I moved to New York. I'm like, there's so many people. I'm gonna find this person here, of course. So I was reading books about like, relationships and blah 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 blah. But the thing about New York is like,
it's fast.
It's fast.
Yeah.
And I didn't get rewarded for having that mindset.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I came to New York and I was like, I would meet women and I would like talk serious to them and be like, yo, I'm looking for my, whatever. I'm looking for this, whatever. Being open and honest. And a lot of women, it's not that they weren't trying to hear that. It's just the guys that were getting a lot of like attention and play, they weren't talking like that.
Right.
Which is, and maybe it was the circles that I was
women
in.
here are street smart. So you probably saying all this, I want a wife and all this, that's game to a woman.
Maybe.
In New York, yeah.
But I was being real.
But
I was being real. But they didn't, but it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't well received. They were like, oh, that's cute. That's good.
Yeah, like, boy, shut up. Like,
they were like,
do this.
And I was just like, what? So I was like, all right, whatever. So all that energy I put into like date a woman seriously, it wasn't really getting me anywhere, especially since I was still honing in just my skills as a human being.
Got you.
So then I was just like, I just stopped caring. At some point, I just got fed up. I stopped caring. So then I just went out with women. I just had fun and wasn't thinking about it. And believe it or not, more women were more receptive to that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was just like, you rewarded me for being a savage. That's just weird. Right?
Backwards like that.
Backwards. So then I was just like, whatever. You guys don't want the serious stuff, so I don't give a damn. So I'm just gonna live my life. I'm not gonna sweat it. And that's what it was, right? So fast forward to that party. I met her. To me, it was just like, it was one of those weird things like, like I can meet somebody and I can exchange information and then we can hang out, we can go on dates and stuff like that.
Right.
But like, it wasn't the normal situation because she lived in my building.
Right.
Right? So
close to home.
High stakes.
Yeah.
Right? High stakes. So I was like, all right, whatever. So that's who I was before.
Got you.
Before I got there. So now fast forward after meeting Rachel.
Go on this date.
Huh?
You said we was there. On this date.
Yeah, so we're on this date. So then I said, yo, let's go do this thing up the street because we live in the same neighborhood. So it's not like I had to pick her up.
Gotcha.
Or she had to come, whatever. Let's just walk downstairs and go to this spot up the street. It was like this bar / whatever. And then I was like, okay. She decided to meet with me. And we met and we just talked, we just chopped it up and whatever. Now, again, like I had game, but I was still sloppy.
Okay.
Right? So I wasn't like, whatever. So I was talking to her and we were chopping it up. We had a good conversation. It was fun, whatever. I don't remember everything we talked about. This was years ago. And at the end of the night, the funny thing was like, I walked her back to her apartment, which was in my building, which is the weirdest scenario I've ever had. And I tried to kiss her. She dodged and hit her head against the wall because she just didn't see. She was just kind of freaked out, and then she hit her head against the wall, and I was just like, "Damn, like really?" You know what I'm saying?
She ain't with that kiss at all. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, right. So then I was like, all right, whatever.
But why did you make that move? You thought it was right?
I don't know. I really don't know because again, like the younger me was still figuring out life, okay, in a lot of ways, right? So in my mind, I'm like, we had a good time. We was talking outside the apartment. She was smiling. I was smiling. We was chilling. So I was just like, all right, whatever, right? And I just try to give her a kiss. And she didn't have to accept it. Yeah. But at the same time, like, you don't know, because guys are required to make the first move. Like, no one was going to be like, come in.
Right. Nobody do that.
Nobody's doing that, right? So then I was just like, all right, whatever. So
I just thought it was right. All right.
I just thought it was right. I don't care. So then she hit her head against the wall, which made her look awkward. So it kind of diffused my nonsense. Right. I was just like, you goofy. So then she go in her apartment. I just went back home, right?
Yeah.
So then I don't remember how long after, but like, what happened? I tried to set up another date with her, right? And I set up the date, and I don't know if it was a date of the date or the day before, or something like that. She had canceled on the date.
Damn.
Yeah, she said, what did she say? She said she's sick or something, right?
Mhm.
Because this was around the wintertime, because New Year's, that's where I met her.
Right.
And then she said she was sick. And I was
Gotcha.
just like, because in New York, a lot of times when a woman don't want to go out with you, she'll come up with a stupid excuse.
Right, right.
So because I've been around the block, I said, all right, cool.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
You took it as a loss, right?
I took it as an L.
All right,
I
got
was
it.
like, move on with your life.
All right.
You sick? All right, cool. Because if you like me, you want to kick with me, you'll hit me back up.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was like, so I after she said, but she can't make it, whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'm sick. I was like, yeah, okay. And she's like, what do you mean I am sick? And she's like, send me pictures of chicken noodle soup or something. I was like, I still was like,
oh no.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. Stop Google imaging me.
Too hard
You know
for
what I'm saying?
a lie. They be doing extra.
Yeah.
I be thinking they lying when they go extra like that. I don't like
Exactly.
that.
So then I was like, you know what? Whatever. So I didn't really know, but it paid off more for me to just not worry about it.
Got you. Yeah.
Right? Because I didn't want to be that guy where I'm like stalking her, trying to, hey, we're in the same building. Like it's gonna be mad weird pressing. So I didn't press it, right? Now I don't remember if it was the same day or a couple of days later. She hit me up and she was like, how come I don't hear from you or something?
Oh, all right.
Right? I don't remember if those were the exact words, but something along the lines of that, right? And I was like, oh, I don't know. You canceled on me. I figured you didn't want to kick it. And she's like, yeah, you know what? I'm like, and I oh, you know what? I did say like you canceled on me on the day of. Like that's a no-no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though I was still sloppy in my game, but I still had self-respect. So I was just like, so she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah. I said, yo, sorry, don't cut it. I said, how you gonna make it up to me?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
All right.
Right? When you tell somebody that, they can either be like, brush you off, and then I'd be like,
they try to make it up.
Oh, they try to make it up.
Yeah.
Right? She was like,
that's a good one.
Yeah. I said, how you gonna make it up to me? And she was like, oh, I mean, I don't know. And she was like, what do you want? I was like, all right, how about this? Next, because I had already had a date planned. That's the thing about like women don't understand sometimes is like when a guy plans a date, like doing it right, like you picking the spot, you making reservations, you blocking off your time, your hours. You're canceling your own plans to hang out with this person. You're thinking of them, and you're being conscious of the things you learn about.
But it goes both ways because women could be doing the same thing.
They do, but like
plus more.
But if you're the person that's planning, you got to do it first.
Got you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got to see if they're gonna like reciprocate.
Yeah.
Right. So as a guy, you sacrifice first. Right. Because they say a woman's supposed to wait 90 days to like do X, Y, Z. They don't say, but they don't say a guy's got to wait 90 days to take a woman out.
That's true. That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you make the plans, and if the plans popping, she come out, whatever. But anyway, so I had already made the plans. I was already turned off by the fact that I made all these plans and I got canceled on like the day. I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. So then I said, how you gonna make it up to me? And then and she's like, well, what do you want? And I said, okay, you know what? The next time we go out, you pick the day, you pick the spot, you taking me out. And I'll just wear my best dress. I said that. Straight up.
Okay. Right?
And she was like, okay. I was like, all right, fuck it. I can curse on here?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Fuck. So she ended up owning up to it. She took me out, this, that, and the third, bop, right? And I was just like, all right, cool. All right, you're back on like my graces, right? And I wasn't trying to say it like I'm on my high horse.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things like when you're living in New York City, it's like sometimes it's hard to really know people's intentions, especially in the environment where like people are so jaded and they have so many options and things to do with their time.
A lot of options. Plus the internet. Yeah.
Everything, right? Yeah. And so you don't know. So I just like, why am I gonna reinvest? So anyway, that was the story of like how we first like started.
Now where did she take you?
I don't remember, dude.
Damn.
I'm trying to remember.
And she paid?
Oh, I know where she took me. Damn. I'm bugging. So she took me to the body museum in New York.
Oh yeah, that was South Streetport, South. Downtown, right?
No,
near the water. No,
this is in Times Square.
Oh, it's two of them because there was one on South Street Seaport.
Oh, I don't know.
Body Museum. Yeah, there used to be one down there. All right.
So she took me to the Body Museum.
And you see like little babies, how they form.
Yeah, they show like the evolution of the human body, all the different function, the nerves, like it's a good experience. At least when I went.
Multiple locations, but that's a dope spot.
Yeah. So she took me to that. And then I think we had went out to eat before or after. I don't remember. This was like almost a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's how we
kicked it off. So after that, y'all just started going on steady dates.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she lived in the building, so it wasn't that hard to get access.
So after that second date, that's how y'all got close? Did you get the kiss after, or like what happened after?
No, so funny. So it was kind of like a romantic comedy and how it turned out, right?
All right.
So then one of the what happened? She took me to the Body Museum. There was this one exhibit, right, where they were showing like how many nerve endings there are in certain body parts.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they showed like a 3D diagram that was actually like
it was lighting up and stuff?
Yeah, it was lightening up, but it was like in 3D. It wasn't like an image. Gotcha. It was like you could walk around it. They showed how many nerve endings like in the face, in the whatever, and so on and so forth. I don't know if they showed nerve endings on the genitals. They might have. I think they did.
Yeah.
But there was
be the whole body.
The whole body. But they was showing pieces of the body in different parts of that room. It wasn't just like a whole body. So you can walk up to the face, you walk up to the arm, you can see nerve ending, right?
Yeah.
A section that was like where they're showing like nerve endings like on the lips. There was a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's how many nerve endings on the lip. You see where I'm going with this?
Gotcha. All right.
I was like, damn, look at this. This is a lot of nerve endings. That means you can feel a lot.
Yeah. So she did it right there in the Body Museum?
I did it.
Yeah. Now, is that your go-to? Like, are you a kisser type of dude? Or
what do you mean my kisser kind of dude? What does that mean?
Some dudes don't like to kiss.
They probably went to jail.
I'm telling you, like you talk to women, they'll tell you like even during sex, a lot of guys don't like to kiss during sex.
Because they watch too much porn.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
That probably answers that.
That's just that's a guess. I don't know if that's the case.
That's probably that. I never thought about that, but probably.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that I'm.
Wait, is that a Haitian thing too? Or
Come on, bro. That's not, bro. Chill. That's not. It's not.
Because they say Haitians do everything. I don't know, man.
Haitians do everything.
You have a long scroll of like just
rap sheet.
Yeah, man. It's bad. Like
I will say Haitians are like we are romantic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
because
I hear that
like there's the French in us. There's like this YouTube video that they showed like when a Haitian's at a party at a dance hall party versus like when Jamaicans are at a dance hall party. So they had like these two dudes and these two women, and it was just reenacting. They're playing reggae music.
And that's how Haitian.
No. They're saying they're playing reggae music or dance hall. And it's like these two dudes, they grab the women, they slam on the ground, they just pounding on them.
Yeah.
They dry humping them. And then the DJ switches it up to like Haitian compa music. Yeah. And then these two Haitians walk in, they making love on a dance floor. They doing suave. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Like Haitians are nothing but Dominicans with more nappy hair. But
kind of true.
But that's so I don't know if I'm a kisser. I'm just
okay.
It's not a go-to move. To me, it's like that's part of like physically connecting.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Never thought about it? Like
no, I don't know.
Some guys are huggers, some guys are touchy-feely, somebody. Yeah, they did.
I don't know. To me, it's all encompassing, right?
Gotcha. But that was dope. Saying it at the Body Museum, like, look at the nerves, and got it.
Yeah.
You got pointers for that.
I get.
So fast forward, y'all get close after that interaction.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go a little bit forward to boyfriend and girlfriend. How did y'all make that happen?
So this is where I messed up.
All right.
This is why this whole
How long did it take?
Train wreck is huh?
How long did it take for y'all to be boyfriend and girlfriend? But go ahead.
This is also the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I didn't know back then. I'm trying to figure out how to enter this, right? So I didn't know back then that my love language was acts of service.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Explain what acts of service is.
Acts of service.
I don't know.
So the love languages is basically the different ways that people show and like to receive love. There's 5 of them. There's acts of service, which is what I am. There's physical touch, which is self-explanatory. There's words of affirmation, quality time, and gifts.
Yeah.
Right? So those could determine how you like to give or receive love, or a combination. Right? Mine has always been acts of service, but I never knew that up until lately.
Okay.
Right? But that's how I operated. Right? And because I didn't know that about myself, I didn't realize how much of an impact that really had on me, good or bad.
Now, were you like a tit for tat type of guy? Like, all right, I'm gonna buy you flowers. Now, I bought you these flowers. You gotta do something for me.
I never say that,
but you expect.
But in my mind,
got you.
You see what I'm saying? That's how I was moving.
Man,
yeah, that's how I was moving. So, but then at the same time, like they always tell people, like, okay, be honest about what you're looking for. Be honest about what you want. Because a lot of guys aren't honest. So I was just like, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, what I want, what I like, and that'll be that. And there'll be no question. There'll be no whatever. But here's the problem: when you tell somebody, you can tell somebody what you want, but I was telling people what they. This is basically the theme of this whole story. Why this whole thing just went bad.
All right.
Okay. I was telling people what I wanted in a relationship or in a woman before I even knew what they actually had the capacity for.
Okay.
Right? And when somebody really likes you, at least at the beginning, they're gonna do the stuff to get you on their whatever. Yeah. Right? And on their side, or to be partners or whatever the hell. And they could play that role however long they can.
It's that honeymoon stage, man. That's that.
But I made the mistake of feeding it by like giving her like exact instructions.
Okay.
Of what I like to the like detailed stuff, right? And when I told her things, I didn't realize I was basically expressing my love language and what I like. So she took note of that. So one day, this is probably like 2.5 weeks after meeting her.
Right.
Because we hung out a few times.
Yeah.
And one day, like it was snowing, I had promised to take her out.
Gotcha.
Right? And I took the train to work that day because I had a car back then as well. We lived in the same building, so the building had a parking garage, or not a garage, well, a parking.
Better. Gentrified buildings have everything.
Hey, man. To me, that's normal.
Hell no. All right.
Anyway. So I parked my car in the back of the building where they had parking, and I had private parking. So I had I was planning to take her out that day.
Yeah.
And I said to her, yo, when I get off of work, I'm working a little bit late, but when I get off of work, we're still gonna go out, we're gonna whatever. Yeah. But then I knew it was snowing that day, heavy, right? And when we were going, I typically drive everywhere if I'm not going to work.
Gotcha.
So I told her, I said, when I come home, I'm gonna just give me a minute. I'm gonna come home, and I gotta dig my car out the snow.
Okay.
And then we can go out, right? I'll go up, shower, and whatever. That's just what I had. That's just New York, right?
Right.
So and she could see my car was buried because she was on the ground floor, right? And then
you look back,
the window, she could see it. And I was at work when I was talking to her. So anyway, so I come home and I'm like, yo, let me go. I don't think I even called. I just knew I had to dig before I went to shower because I was gonna be all sweaty.
Yeah.
So I went to the car to go whatever, and the car was dug out. It was cleaned out.
All right.
Car was cleaned out
out
of the snow. And I was just like, because every car was buried.
Yeah.
But mine. I was like, what? Yeah. And then I looked at the car. I was confused. And then I looked. I looked at her window, and she was just looking at me, just waving. I was just like, I know this is not just.
She 5'8". She a stallion, you said. Yeah. She was out there.
You know what I'm saying? Digging the car out of the store. I was like, yo, that shit melted me, dog.
Really?
Yeah. That's all it took. Right?
You had to dig your car out?
Dig my car, right?
No personality traits, anything else?
Nothing. So then I went.
After 2.5 weeks, you said?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All you gotta do is dig his car out?
I'm just telling you, like, because I didn't
You
understand.
easy, man. You easy.
No, bro, but anyway, so she dug the car out of the snow.
You're afraid to marry her.
Dude, don't get me started. So anyway, so then I was just like, all right. So I ran to her apartment.
Right.
I gave her a hug, gave her a kiss or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, did you dig my car out of the snow? She was like, yeah. I was like, I felt like, yo, she fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? That's all it took. Cause let's be honest, bro. Like, how many girls gonna dig your car out of the snow? Right?
Yeah, I don't know, but they ain't gonna do it for me.
I know it ain't gonna do it for you. That's not your thing.
Yeah.
That's not your thing, but that was my thing. I didn't know that was my thing, but then when it happened,
Yeah.
you know, it stemmed just how I was brought up. Like, I got it from my mom. So anyway, whatever. So.
Wait, cut. I like to ask my guests, where did they learn love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you said that's how you was brought up. So let's go back.
Okay.
Because if that's impressing you, so where did you learn love?
What do you mean?
Or to see positive love, or just me, I learned it from music, right? I haven't had no positive influences of just seeing like two people in love or anything like that. I heard it through music.
Okay.
I've seen it in movies, stuff like that. So for you, where did it come from? We jump back into the story.
That's a great question. See, that was a part of the problem I had, right?
All right.
So my parents are divorced.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned a lot of their behavior in how they interact or interacted. And their relationship didn't work. So I learned what type of love to stay away from. I didn't know which type of love to run to.
Mm.
See what I'm saying?
Now, you said you have a brother. You have one brother? And
I have two brothers.
Two brothers. All right.
Two brothers, right? So, and a sister. So I didn't really have a proper example. So I was always trying to figure it out for myself.
Got you.
Right? So like anything that seemed remotely positive, I was just like, this is it. Right?
That makes sense. All right.
You see what I'm saying? So because I knew I wanted love. I knew I wanted like connection. I knew I wanted, you know, a partner in my life, but I didn't know what it was going to look like because I didn't want to, because you know how a lot of people are like, oh, I want somebody like my mom's, or I want or women be like, I want somebody like my dad, right? Because my parents' relationship didn't work, in my mind, I'm like, I can't mirror any of this because I don't want any chance of repeating it.
Mm.
So
Not even a woman that's like your mom?
My mom has a lot of great qualities. Like if I, like everything on paper, like my mom is a great woman. Like she, like give the clothes off her back. Like she does this thing where like on Sundays she'll cook and she'll just hand out Tupperware to the whole neighborhood.
Mm.
Like, and then she'll just get the Tupperwares back and she refill them again. Like she'll do stuff like that. She just like, you want some money? Here's some money. Like she just does stuff. Right?
Yeah.
But she's also the type of person where, at least for me, as her kid, and then even the other kids, but I was more responsive or responsible for it than the other ones, where she always put us to work, doing chores. You know what I'm saying? Doing stuff around the house, doing favors. Her Jeff, go, like she the type, you know, the cliche. She's laying on the bed. She'll call me from playing outside. I'm like, all right, you come in. I'm like, what do you want? And she's like, I'll keep passing.
Turn the TV or
Turn the TV.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that.
You know what I'm saying? But she just liked feeling that people were attentive to her and doing stuff for her. I could just, like, I never really picked it up. It's just something that was infused in me, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I wasn't really looking at her like she was the
ideal woman to be with.
The ideal, because she had her quirk. She got her thing that her issues or whatever. Same as my dad, right? Yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, I need to reset and find my own path. Yeah. I was reading books. I was like studying like on relationships and how to be a man and stuff like that. Because you know, my dad, he was a hardworking man, but he wasn't sitting me down telling me this is what you gotta do.
And you the oldest out of your brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So it makes sense. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So your own way.
Exactly. And I try to teach what I learned and pass it to my younger brothers, right?
Yeah.
And we exchange some things, but as we've gotten older, we've both gotten our own different experience and we're all learning from each other. But as far as like for my father, no fault to him. Like he had a very hard upbringing. It wasn't like peaches, right? Because, you know, coming from Haiti, like there was just a lot of grimy things. Like you think stuff's going on in the United States, like bro, like crazy stuff in Haiti, right? Especially back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. So back then I was kind of resentful on that end, but I kind of understood now. But bottom line is where I learned love. I learned a lot of bad things regarding love in my parent relationships, or even though my parents weren't toxic, at least in front of us, I didn't trust even the good things that I saw.
Gotcha.
Because if it ended, then how good was it? You know what I'm saying? Like that played in my head.
Gotcha.
So
just to get the idea of, I gotta date this woman. Where did you get that? Where did you get that knowledge from?
Trial by fire, man.
All right, got it. Now go back to see a story.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what it was. So I was learning, but I also had internal triggers, internal things that I was drawn to that I couldn't immediately attach to.
Okay.
Because I didn't know myself well enough. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard for me to articulate what made me feel certain ways. I am able to do that now as I'm telling the story. Like I know myself a lot more.
Gotcha.
But back then I was just kind of going with the flow. So anyway, so she did that, and I was just like so, mesmerized by the gesture because that's just how my mind was. Right then and there, I just asked her to be my girlfriend.
Sheesh, 2.5 weeks is fast as hell, man.
You see?
It's a paycheck. Damn.
No, it's used 3 weeks now. If you
just get to the job or whatever.
You just get to the job, 2 weeks, you gotta wait a week to laugh for them to process the check.
You made it your girlfriend. All right. She made the cut.
She made the cut. She shouldn't have.
Yeah.
She made the cut. Right? So I'm like, it's my girl now. And so the way I move, and this is another thing that like I had to work on, is like, even prior to coming to New York, I was always social. I got a lot of friends in Florida. And when I came to New York, within like 6 months, like I felt like I had the whole city behind me. Like I met a lot of people because I'm very social. I have ways to connect with people that, and I'm not saying I'm everybody's person on the planet.
You're a likable dude.
It's not even that. Like the way I was described by one of my friends is that like, and it was actually my friend described me to that new girlfriend, Rachel. Yeah. That my friend said to her, Jeff's the type of dude where you're either gonna hate his guts or you're gonna love him to death. There's nothing in between.
No in between.
There's no in between.
All right.
Because the way I am, I'm fairly consistent, and it's hard for me to like massage myself for like a whole room. So somebody's gonna hate me. Gotcha. Somebody's gonna hate me. It's just what it is. But the people that do love me, like they rock with me, right? Gotcha. So the reason why I bring that up is like, once I made her my girlfriend, I was just like, now you get to meet the crew. You get to, what I'm saying? We're hanging out, we're doing this, right. We're taking trips, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's where I was. And I was like, she was being friends with my homegirls. She was being friends with my partners, my boys' girlfriends and wives. Like it was just like
Now your mom, what about the family part? Your mom live in New York?
Nah, she lives in Florida.
All right. Did she ever meet the mom?
She did. I'm just
all right, wait, hold on. Before we go there, on this list of Haitian things, right? They say the mom plays a big role in the men's life. Is that true? When it comes to love.
They do, but not in mine for the reason I told you, right?
Yeah.
Like my mom tried to give me advice on like relationships, but I feel bad for saying this, but like she could say stuff to me about relationships because I know it's coming from a place of hurt. I never take it.
Okay.
Right? Because you know how like a lot of single moms will talk bad about the fathers.
Right.
And that was happening. And I was just, I don't want to hear any bad things said about my father.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And my dad never really like, I don't want to say he didn't talk bad about my mom. I would say that wasn't his, that wasn't embedded in everything he tried to tell me.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? But my mom, who's a little bit more vocal, you'll hear that a lot. So when she tries to give me like advice and stuff, like I have a close relationship with my mom. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
We talk all. She says I don't call her enough. But I say it's because she called me too much. But the point is like, I didn't necessarily. So to your point, like, are Haitians like, do they latch onto their mom when it comes to like love advice and stuff like that? A lot of them do.
Yeah.
But me personally, I made a point where I was always independent in my thinking when it came to that. And when she tried to infuse me, I was just like, nah.
All right, got it.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I wasn't that guy.
Gotcha.
And I was always the type of person where like I knew that, and I said this, and it sounds courageous to some people, but I have my reasons. But like I've always said, like, what if your mom doesn't like the woman you're with?
Right.
I'm like, then my mom and I just won't see eye to eye. It's just what it is.
Man.
Yeah, because to me, I'm like, you're not the one that's in a relationship with this person, right? I'm not here to ask for blessing. I'm just giving you the honor of meeting whoever I'm with.
Yeah.
If you don't like that person, I'll decide for myself if I don't like them. And if it happens to align with the reasons you don't like them, great. But like, I'm never going to be like, I don't like her. And I'm like, all right, my mom says she don't like you, so I can't be like, I'm not, that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? I will cut off my family. No, real talk. Come on.
Right.
Like if I'm with my woman and she's doing right by me, like for real, right? And my mom just has like a personal thing, which my mom has never hated anybody. Like it's never happened.
Got you.
I'm saying that with the confidence that that's never happened, right? But I'm just saying in theory, if that happened, like you're not out here like pursuing. I am. You know what I'm saying? So if I have if there's any ounce that like it's based on your own, bad taste, because like your experience, no shade, but I'm like your experience didn't yield the proper results. So how you gonna know? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if she was like somebody where like, she was in a successful relationship and my dad was successful and they embodied and they created a blueprint, I would take their word a little bit more heavy when it came to that. But they don't have that, so I had to be like, I can't just like fall on that because that would be crazy.
All right.
I forgot where I was.
Rachel was in. She met the guy. She met the friend.
Met the everything. Right. So, it's funny thing. Okay, so I don't know where do you want me to go from here? Because I don't know. Because
this is fast. So it's after 2.5 weeks and that's important. Met the guy. This all happened fast. You said it was a 1.5 relationship.
Yeah.
Now it goes to. I was having fun taking trips and everything like that. What was the first roadblock I had?
All right, so this is where I'll mention the roadblocks.
Or wait, before you get there, because it happened so fast, you didn't get to really know her like that, right?
Nah, I was learning her
as you went.
Yeah.
What was some things that were like turning you off? Like, All
right, so I'll tell you what it was, right? So I remember she was one of those like hardcore feminist type.
Oh man. Man. Like she wouldn't like I had one of those. And it was like always in my face about stuff. Let's say I like Kanye West. Or not even Kanye West. Let's say I like somebody that did something bad. I like Chris Brown.
Okay.
She will be against that.
But she can be against Chris Brown's actions.
She wouldn't be against him at all? Like just the whole person?
Wait, I'm not understanding.
All right, so I had an ex, right?
Yeah. She's against the fact that you like Chris Brown?
I like Kanye West. Okay. Well, not the new Kanye West, but at the time I like Kanye West.
Yeah.
He wore the Trump hat. She's like pro-black, everything. Because he wore that hat, she's like, oh, no, I got to cancel him. He's out of here. And I'm like, all right, it's a hat. I try to understand why he's wearing the hat. I try to understand the background of it, everything like that. I'm not going to just cancel him. I just want to know, all right, why are you doing this? She don't want to know she don't want to hear him. She want nothing.
But that's a lot of people, though.
Yeah, we was butting heads when it came to that.
Because of Kanye?
Not like, it wasn't serious. It was like, I'll put Kanye on. Why are you listening to him still?
Oh, that. Listen, I can't speak on that because cancel culture has got its own thing. Because I'll be honest with you, like, I get it. Like, between R. Kelly, Louis C.K.
Right.
All this stuff, like, there's a lot of like people.
I still saw Kelly, but in the house, in the car, but not outside. If I'm DJing, I can't play it.
You about to get canceled?
I'm not getting. There's people that still listen to him like religiously.
I'm sure they do. Listen,
I be in the shower and I just have to sing sometimes. Like
I don't want to know what you do in the shower. because I feel like this is about to go left.
His music is catchy, but go ahead.
Where did I leave off? What were we talking about?
She was feminist.
Yeah, so she was like one of those and again, because I didn't really have like any reference of like that experience,
right.
I didn't know if it was good or if it was bad.
Right.
So I just kind of like, I was like, all right, you got your views? Cool, whatever. Right? Because I never had like a bad experience or any experience with someone with those ideals. So I was just like open-minded, right?
Gotcha.
So there's a reason why I bring it up, right? You know, she always found herself like talking really bad about men.
All right. Okay.
Why do you seem depressed? You didn't go out with her.
I always said on Twitter, like, I hate the women that do that. And then when they're in a relationship, it's total opposite.
Well, with her, I don't want to say it was opposite. She
stuck to her guns.
There were a lot of things that was like embedded in her that infused itself into the relationship based on those ideals.
Okay.
So one of the things where it became like a little bit of a tiff is like, remember when I said like I'm acts of service, right? Anything I ask for my woman to do or that I anticipate is never anything that I wouldn't do for her. I would do the same.
Gotcha.
Right? I'm not one of those like, you know, those cliche misogynistic like, you know, my woman stays in the kitchen and cleans the house and barefoot and pregnant, and I go out and like I'm not like that. Like
gotcha.
anything I ask of my woman or anything I expect, if I'm not ready to make the same sacrifice, I'm not gonna ask you to do that.
All right, understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, understandable.
So what was happening was she lived downstairs. She had 3 roommates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right.
It was a big apartment.
You in those buildings? That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. She had 3 roommates. It was big. It had 4 bedrooms. So it was just like, yeah. But it was like she was in a 2-story unit.
Okay.
And I was upstairs, but she was always at my place. Right?
All right.
She was always at my place, which I had no, whatever, big deal, right? My place was, I had a roommate at the time.
Mm-hmm.
My roommate, I think, was spending time at his girl's.
Okay. So you always had the free crib.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Right? And even if I didn't, like...
It's still free.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when she would come kick it, we got a big penthouse. We got outdoor space. We chilling. We got, you know, comfortable couch. Whatever. Right? Yeah. And so I would like... I would clean my place up. I would like cook. You know, whatever. I would plan dates. I was just doing a bunch of stuff. But then I never really asked for anything. Right? But then there were times where I was like, damn,
when's she gonna do something for me? Type of thing?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So you was expecting it.
Yeah, I was just like, she got my back. She got my back. She dug my car out of snow. Of course she got my back.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I had like a little sample and I ran with it. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, when the time comes. You know, but I'm not the type to be like, I'm not a tit for tat. Right? But in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna make the sacrifices that I see necessary.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna, you know, whatever. We're gonna right. So anyway, so every day, like I cook, I clean, I do it, and I'm still going to work, and I'm, you know, planning dates, and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Right. And I'm trying to maintain my own life. But she, you know, spending time in my crib. But I never harped on it or whatever. Right. So then I was just like, yo, because I think one time I didn't cook or something like that. And then I don't know if she complained about it or she asked if I was cooking something. And I was just like, do you mind, you know, whatever? And she threw a fit. I was just like, wait a minute. What? What are you talking about? Right?
Yeah.
And she made it seem like, you know, and I was just like, yo, I mean, what's wrong with cooking or whatever? She's like, oh, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm the, you know, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, and then she was like, oh, she said she didn't know how to cook. I'm like, I can teach you. That's nothing.
All right.
You know, like, I'm not like, you know, I'm like, I just was like, oh, yeah, I'll teach you. It's nothing. It's true. It'd be a good experience.
That's the orange flag in my book.
I feel you, but you got to go back to.
Not a red fully, because you can always learn, but.
Yeah, but like, to me, that's the thing. To me, everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a reason why they know how to do something or don't know how to do something. I don't know the whole history. That's why I came in blind, right? So then I was like, all right, I said, I could teach you. I know a bunch of stuff I could teach you how to make because my mom taught me a lot of things because my mom put me to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to teach her stuff, but she was just acting like a child about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like being like very like, like, and just being like mad annoyed. And we never got through like making a whole full meal. Multiple times that like I was cooking and wanted her to invite her to show her. And I was just like, damn, like, why is it so, whatever. Mm-hmm. Right? So I was just like, right.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit more accepting. I was just like, maybe cooking's just not her thing. Instead of being like, you trash. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, maybe cooking's not her thing.
Yeah.
So what's your thing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you like to do? What do you, because now I'm trying to see like, how do we contribute to each other? Because because to me, like, if it's not cooking, something, otherwise you just dead weight. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So, but I didn't think about it like that. I was just kind of like being, what do you aspire for? Because she didn't want to be, one of those women where like she's just like, she's catering to her man. That's the only thing that she's there for. I'm like, okay, but like, it's not like I'm not doing this stuff. Right. So anyway, I'm not gonna go back and forth. So then, there were times where she would just act childish about it, and there were times like she's at my crib and she's eating, and then she would just like leave the plate, just sitting somewhere or whatever, and I'd be the one like, I'm just like, yo, why don't you just put the plate in the kitchen? And then I'm like, yo,
I had a question. Have you ever been to her place?
Yeah, I have.
How did it look?
So that's the crazy part, right? So she lived with 3 other people, right? It was 2 dudes and another woman, right? Okay. So it was 2 women and whatever. So the place was clean, but like I couldn't tell
who did what. Man, all right.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know.
What about her personal room?
Her personal room was the weirdest part because, like, her personal room wasn't necessarily dirty, right? But she did this thing where, like, she kept, and maybe that's just me, maybe I'm different, maybe this is normal, maybe I'm weird or vice versa, but she kept, like, her own personal things in her room that would typically be in the common space.
It's like college, yeah.
Yeah, she on that. And I was like, what?
She had a mini fridge?
No, it's not. She had, like she would have like whenever
detergent.
Like stuff like that. Or like if she had like toilet, it was like she was like in jail. Like she had her own toilet paper when she needed to use it. She would take it from her room to the bathroom. She had like her own forks. And then it was crazy.
Yo, I'm in tears.
I didn't understand. And I was just like, why don't you just keep it out where it's supposed to be? And she was like, no, I don't want anybody like messing with my stuff. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Like I was like, y'all adults. Like, and the reason why I thought it was weird is like anytime I've ever had roommates ever since I got out of college, like whatever I buy, I don't care
for the house.
It's for the house.
That's normal.
Because to me, I trust that you're adult enough to refill it, or ask permission if you feel you're gonna kill it.
Yeah,
that rhymes. That's bars. You know what I mean? So
nah, I'm just picturing eating in her room, and she's like,
bro, she had her own plates in there. I was like, broski, what's good?
This is nuts.
Dude, it was weird.
To each his own, yeah.
It was weird.
Oh my God.
But in my mind, I'm like, I guess. I never questioned it. Like, I knew it was weird. I never questioned if it was a problem.
Pots? Don't tell me Pots is in the room.
I don't remember.
All right. But
I don't remember. If Pots was in there, I would have vividly remembered, but I don't remember.
That's hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was because she didn't want to wash anybody else's dishes or if she didn't want to, you know what I'm saying?
I think so.
That's why I'm bringing that up.
Petty like that. Like,
petty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to use my thing. I'm going to wash my own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to worry about.
Exactly. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, but I never put 2 and 2 together. So I was just like, damn. Right?
Yeah.
So
she was very childish, you said, when it came to learning how to do that.
Yes.
Then put a plate in the sink. So these are red flags now.
Bruh. So then I don't know if it was.
Because I look at if she was my girl and I've seen that constantly, and she doesn't offer, oh, let me take it. I know it's not her house, but sometimes you'll offer like, let me take your plate. Let me put it in the sink, whatever.
Yeah.
If I don't get that, it's like, I don't know. I look at things like that.
Yeah, but how old are you now?
I'm about to be 35.
You about to be 35.
I'm talking about just in general.
I feel you.
Constant thing. Like, let's say it's the 8th time she's at my house and she doesn't offer just to do anything.
I got you, but
it's like, man.
But who were you 10 years ago?
Were
you conscious about stuff like that?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, then you were better than man than me.
Because I'm at somebody else's place. It's like, I want to feel, I don't know. I want to like, I appreciate them inviting me to their place. So I want to like offer something.
I feel you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you process things a little bit differently than I did.
Like if I slept over my friend's house,
and
they gave me a blanket and a pillow.
Yeah.
I'm folding that blanket up. I'm doing everything. Like, here, this is your.
I got you. But because of how I was raised, I naturally am the person to, I got it. I got it. Okay.
Got you. All right.
So that was my natural. You know what I'm saying? I'm always taking care of people that way. That's why when I host parties, I barely enjoy my parties sometimes.
Got you.
Because I'm out here serving drinks. Oftentimes I'm making all the food.
Yeah.
At the party, no catering. I'm making it for like 40 to 100 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But just her not wanting to learn how to cook. That's just weird to me.
It gets weirder,
like,
bro.
Who raised you? Like that's like
that craziness.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, I don't know where you want me to go.
Keep going. All right. So after that, did that play a role into how you felt about her? Like just seeing.
Yeah. It did.
Where does it go next? Like
so. Okay. So there's a lot of pivots.
All right. Go ahead.
Eventually, I had my mom was coming into town.
Okay.
Right. So a part of me was like, damn, do I even want to introduce her to my mom? Because I don't know how I feel about it now because she acted.
How many months? Yeah, months in, right?
This is probably like 4 months in, maybe.
Hey, still early. All right.
But my mom was coming into town. So you tell me, right? My mom comes into town.
Yeah.
Right? My mom's coming to stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
But she lives in the building.
Yeah.
So like, you see what I'm saying? So now
I would just introduce her. Like, I would introduce. I would have to. You have to.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like if I don't, then it's like you're going out of your way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just like, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then because I knew how she was about like chores or whatever, you know, I got a Haitian mom.
Right.
When you with a Haitian mom and she come around.
She's looking at these things, yeah.
My mom, you know, Haitian moms, they're not just looking at these things. That my mom will put you to work.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? She'll put you to work. So my mom, when she'll come up, my mom love to cook. She'll cook. She'll hook it up. You know, she'll clean the house. She'll cook. She loves telling me how I'm not sloppy. I'm not telling her, but she just loves telling me I'm sloppy.
All right.
Right? But she'll say that about everything. She'll just be like, oh, there's dust here, there's dust there, da-da-da-da. But she enjoys doing those. She babies the hell out of me when it comes to chores, right?
Yeah.
She'll come in, she'll cook for the whole week, load up the fridge, load up the freezer. She'll clean this, clean that, change the sheet. I'm just like, man, like turnover.
Relax,
service. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I clean the house as best as I can before she shows up, but she still finds something to do. Right? So I don't want to make it seem like I'm dude with my socks everywhere.
Yeah.
But like that's just how she is. I'm bringing that up for a reason. So when what happened?
They finally meet? Let's get to that.
No. Before they meet, I tell her this.
Okay.
I tell her, yo.
Oh, you gave her the rundown how your mom is?
Yeah, I said, yo.
Oh, man. All right.
You see what I'm saying? Because I know how she was. I'm like, yo, if you come and meet my mom, like she's a Haitian woman. So like that whole, I don't do dishes, I don't like cook stuff. Like she like it's not going.
She gonna test you.
You know, she gonna put you to work. So so you gotta you. That's why I'm like, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. And she was like, no, that is, you know, if I know that, but I'm like, but that's not you though. Like keep it a buck. Like that's not you. Don't whatever. So she's like, no, I want to. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So my mom came through and she showed up in like nice little dress and shit. I was like, I don't even know who this person is. You know what I'm saying? She pulled up looking like her Sunday best.
Mm-hmm.
At, where was this? No, I had moved to a new apartment at this time.
What part of gentrification? What?
That's the best.
You gentrify what? Manhattan?
This was Best Eye. Trying to remember how everything went down. Yeah, so my mom was coming through, and we was at the crib, and my mom, sure enough, was making a cook. Like, yo, put the sauce here, put the thing, and she's just like, my girl at the time was doing it, but like, there was one time, my mom needed something from the store while she was cooking with my girlfriend at the time. And I had to go to the store to go pick it up. And as I'm going to the store, my girl's texting me, complaining, annoyed, saying, she got me doing this. I'm just like, now I'm mad. I'm like, yo, I told you, like, this is what it was. You still wanted to meet her.
Yeah.
I told you what it was. You're not about this life. So I already accepted. I told her, I said, I already accepted that you're not about this life, but don't try to like fake it to my mom and then complain to me in the background. Now I'm just like, yo, you tripping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, what we doing?
That would have frustrated me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't involve my mom in your BS. You know what I'm saying? Because now I gotta like see you play the soap opera and just pretend like it's bullshit. So anyway, so I'm just like, all right, whatever. So that was annoying, right? So then this is where like stuff gets weird, right? What happened? So what this is where I so like I'm sure a lot of people come in here, they talk bad about their exes.
Not all the time.
Well, I'm saying the ones that do, I don't know how often they mention their things that they did wrong.
Yeah. That's I was gonna flip it on you. Like, what you think you
so
contribute to the
here's in a different category where I contributed to something that was bad that also led to like major shit later, right? So back then, I even now, but in a more respectable level, very charismatic, very social, so on and so forth. So when we go out to parties and stuff, right? Or when we go out on the town or whatever, like my the way I socialize from afar, it would look like I'm a flirt.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would look like I'm a flirt. But what you don't notice is like, I'm like that to men too, where I'm just like super like I make eye contact.
Right.
I might put my hand on their shoulder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or I might buy them a drink and be like, I'm doing this to both men and women. Like, it's not like I'm targeting any individual.
That's just who you are, yeah.
That's just who I am. But the problem with this is like, there's compared to most men who don't have that kind of confidence, women are drawn to that. Right? So when I'm out, some people say I move like I'm single.
I get the same thing. I think it's a Gemini thing.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I learned from it, but like in that moment, like I didn't see that that's what it was. But because I knew I wasn't necessarily like, I didn't have any ill intentions. I was just like socializing with people, getting them comfortable, making them laugh. And she was with me. There were times she'd be on my arms and times that she's not.
Yeah.
Right? That's just what it was. But I would always come back to her.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was like, she goes, she told me one time, she's like, oh, you're sitting there complimenting all these girls and da da da. I'm like,
oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Things got, and that's where I knew later on after that relationship, I need to do better at. But in my mind, I was just like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm like, yo, chill. I was like, yo, stop.
Oh, you brushed off.
I just brushed it off. I brushed it off.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not even cooking for me. What are you telling me? You know what I'm saying? What you telling me? You know what I'm saying?
Bring that up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here doing everything. I can't even be me. You know what I'm saying? One, you're making my life harder, and now you want me to be somebody else. That's how I looked at it, right? So I was tight. So not saying that was right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's how I took it. Right? So because of how vindictive she is. Okay. One time we went to another party.
Gotcha.
Okay. This time we went to a party in the Hamptons. Right? Went to a party in the Hamptons. It was her. It was what was it? It was her friends from college throwing it or whatever, and she invited me, and I was able to invite two of my friends, married couple.
Gotcha.
Right? So like we taking a party bus to the Hamptons, pool party, barbecue.
Yeah.
Mad people.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people. So we go to the Hamptons and we are what is it? We get to this party, there's like a lot of people, whatever, but it was kind of chilly.
Mm-hmm.
So there weren't that many people in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There weren't that many people in the pool. And but there was a lot of people around the party and bathing suits and stuff like that. My girl at the time, she had like this like summer trench coat thing. She had a bathing suit underneath.
Yeah.
But she had this
like over top, like a robe type of thing with see-through?
No, it wasn't see-through. It wasn't see-through. I'm saying this for a reason. So when we get there, we just chilling, we grabbing some burgers, we talking. We got our own cooler that we were pre-gaming with, stuff like that on the bus. And we were hanging out, and next thing you know, like she take off her trench coat, and she had a like basically a bikini thing, which I knew that's what she was gonna wear. I'm not a jealous type, right? Like whatever, right? So she took the thing off, and when I'm at parties, like I'm not like all up on like my girl or whatever. Like we hang out, we kiss, we whatever. But I've also got my friends that I'm here with, and she's got her friends from college. So I'm not gonna be like.
So you're just mingling around.
We're just mingling. We're just chilling. People dancing. There's just whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I noticed like when we're by the pool, she took her thing off, whatever, and thong, butt everywhere, whatever. All of a sudden, dudes start flocking.
Okay.
Which I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't press because I'm like, dudes gonna do what they do. If I be concerned, they not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she's by the pool. I can tell she's just loving the attention. Loving the attention. I'm just like, all right, whatever. So I'm hanging out with my friends. We dancing. We doing the nay-nay. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the party. You know what I mean? But I'm not.
I haven't heard that in a while. But
that's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then I'm hanging out with my boys. But for some reason, I feel like it's just me and my boy and his wife hanging out. Like my girl's just over there, just enjoying this random attention of like guys wanting to talk to her. But I'm not pressing, right? So then me, my boy, and his wife decided to jump in the pool, even though it was cold. It was like we came all the way to the Hamptons. We getting into the pool, right? So we in the pool. Me and my whatever. I'm telling my girl, like, get in the pool. She's like, oh, it's too cold. I want to get in the pool. And she's just by the pool, just wanting to do this thing. Right?
Yeah.
Where she's just laying, just, having people gawk at her. I was like, all right, whatever. But I'm in the pool, we dancing, we doing laps. Yeah. Whatever. I'm like, babe, come get in the pool. She's like, no, I don't want to get in the pool. It's I was just like, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna press you.
Yeah.
You do whatever. Right? This is what makes you happy at a party. I'm not gonna stress you. So then we're getting out of the pool, me and my boy, we're getting out of the pool because it was cold. And then one of the dudes that was like trying to holler at my girl was saying, yo, I'll race you in the pool from one end to the other, right? And she goes, bet. And she jumps in the pool and races buddy. I'm like,
what the?
I'm like, wait, what? Look at you mad. Why you mad? Why you mad?
Because I just told you, come in the pool with me. Like
exactly. But
race. All right.
But okay. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do me at the party.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm gonna see if you come to your senses, if you like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm not the type.
You ain't say nothing,
bro. I'm not the type to be at a party like, why would you? I'm not that guy.
Got you.
I'm the person who I'm just like, oh, okay. I watch, right? And I just pay attention because a lot of it is me also trying to figure out my own boundaries and figure out like when do I step in, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that happened. So the rest of the party, we're chilling, whatever. And she's still not hanging out with us. And I noticed in the corner, like some guys like trying to flirt with her, trying to talk to her, whatever. And I'm just like, and she hasn't really hung out with us for the majority of the party. So one time, there was another round of food being made, like burgers, hot dogs, and whatever. And I came up to her, I was just like, while Buddy was talking to her, trying to talk to her, I walked up to her, I said, babe, you want some food? You want to get some food with us? Like, just looked at her like that, you want to get some food with us?
Yeah.
I didn't say, like, when I could walk up to Buddy, I walk up shaking, saying, yo, what's up, my man? What's good? You know what I'm saying? Because I got nothing against him.
Yeah.
If I was in his shoes.
You do the same thing.
Do the same thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Just woman walking around, she pretty. You know what I'm saying? You're going to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So I walked up I'm like, yo, what's up, man? You want to say, babe, you want some burgers? You want some food? I just want to make sure you eat. You good?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay, cool. I dip.
Yeah.
All right. They went back. Because I don't know if this was college friend, whatever.
Yeah.
What am I pressing for? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the party goes into the night, right? We still not kicking it.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Dang.
And I'm just like, now I'm getting kind of tight, right? So then now the party ends, everybody's getting back to the party buses to head back to the city. And then we're walking, and then I remember we were walking by this outdoor pool table, and she was walking behind me, and we were like taking our bags to walk the thing. And then when we were by ourselves, I turned around and I said, yo, you realize you didn't spend a single time with us, the people you invited to this party? You realize how rude that was? What I was saying? Oh, I thought you were just out there doing your own thing. I'm like, hey, what? Hey, you crazy? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, you brought us to the Hamptons to hang out with your friends. You didn't introduce us to nobody. You didn't, there was none of that. And you weren't even hanging out with us, right? And she was like, well, you like to do your social. I'm like, okay, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna stress that. We went back to the bus, passed out, and went to whatever, right? So fast forward. A couple days later, at work. I think I was at work. Yeah, I was at work, and she was at work, and she calls me, and she goes, yo, you never guess what happened. I'm like, what happened? She goes, somebody, I received edible arrangements. What?
Okay.
I'm sitting there like, what are you talking about? Who sent you edible arrangement? Yeah, the guy that I was talking to at the pool. I'm like,
she's not that Ed. Or not. She's not.
Bruh.
She's smarter than that.
Bruh. So that's, yeah. So I'm like, let me get this straight. You spoke to this guy at the pool. Not only did you give him enough information about you to know where to send edible arrangement, but you gave him enough, enough indication that he can do some shit like that. Right? And I was just like, and she's like, no, it's not like, I don't know. I didn't say anything. I'm like, you got edible arrangements from a guy you were hanging out at a pool party that I was at. You don't see how fucked up that is? Right? And she tried to flip it on me. Oh, I don't know why you being that. I'm like, you got edible arrangements from a dude, right? So then I was like, I said, we're gonna talk about this when you get home. So, because it's not like we live in the same place, we live in the same building, but we spend a lot of time in my apartment. So then she was coming back home, right? And she was calling me, asking me, can I help her bring up these edible arrangements?
Well, you moved at this time, you said.
No. I remember. I'm talking about a story. I'm going back and forth. I'm going back and forth. So she's calling me to help her bring up these edible arrangements.
You lying.
Bruh. And I'm like, I'm not helping you bring up no edible arrangement that came from another dude. She's like, and she starts like putting on these fake tears and crying that I'm like being mean to her. I'm like, what? Oh, you got me fucked up. You got me all the way fucked up. Right? So then that's when I started realizing, yo, I see who I'm dating. Right? Somebody was like extremely selfish, extremely petty, all that shit. Right? So then I was like, okay. I don't remember how we even got past that. But then there was, she just started becoming like super, and then we just started arguing a lot from that point on.
Did you always bring up this guy? Did you like?
And nothing ever happened.
Okay.
It was just, she just liked attention.
You
know what I'm saying? Yeah. She used to model, she's whatever, all this, whatever. So anyway, so she just liked attention. She used to be out in the party scene sometimes, whatever, right? So, what happened? So I'll just give you another example of like the pettiness. I remember one time, we were going to hang out with some of my friends at a party that they were hosting, and we got into an argument on the way there when I was driving, and I was just on some petty stuff. And then I was like, yo, I'm not. So we ended up at the party. No, we ended up pulling up to the party in the car, and she's still arguing. I'm like, yo, we're not going to the party. This is how we talking, right? she's like, no, we can go to the party. I'm like, no, we're not going to the party. I'm going to drive us back home because I'm not going to go in there with this energy in front of my friends trying to deal with, like, it's just not going to happen. I'd rather just ixnay the whole thing and take the L. Yeah. So I started driving back to the crib. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're driving back to the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, I'm driving back. Well, I'm not going to this party with this, right? And then at a red light, she gets out of the car at a red light. And she's like, you say, well, I'm not going back home. We're going to the party. I'm like, we're not going to the party. We're going to the crib. Like, get in the car. She's like, I'm not getting in the car. And she's making it seem like she's just walking. So I don't want to be in a car with you. Mind you, we in Brooklyn, right? We downtown Brooklyn. We live
like what, Crown Heights or something?
Crown Heights, whatever. And she in heels. I'm like, babe, this ain't even the time for it. Get in the car. Right? Mind you, the door's open. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like creeping the car while I'm like, get in the car. I'm like, hey, I only gotta ask you one more time. Get in the car. It's like, no. Where? Okay. Reached over, closed the door, drove off, went home.
Dang.
Yeah, bruh, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
And she gonna flip it on you like,
yeah, facts.
You ain't care for her safety.
Exactly. All of that, right? I was like steaming, right? So she was like, oh my God, you left me out there. I can't believe. Like, this is something. You're a child. You're a whole child, right? So then, fast forward again, we getting closer to, I think it was, I don't know if it was it was my birthday. It was my birthday. And for a birthday, because she knew that I like for her to do stuff, she said she gave me like, she gave me like these handwritten I guess tokens of like things that I can ask her to do or some shit.
Oh,
for my birthday, right? Which at first was kind of cute, like you can flip through, it was like a whatever. But when I was reading what the stuff was, I'm like, all of this is normal relationship shit.
It's basic stuff.
Basic shit. And I gotta wait for my birthday and only get certain allocations. Wild stuff.
Yeah.
And at first I was into it, and I was just like, this ain't right. And eventually I just threw them away. I'm like, I'm not even gonna call upon any of this. Right?
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna tell you because we could sit here forever. You want to get to the downfall at some point.
Yeah. Where did it go fully downhill?
Okay, here's where it went fully downhill, right?
Before you answer that, what did your mom think about after meeting her?
My mom never really knew the whole story.
Okay.
Because she put up a front.
Okay.
When she was my mom. Yeah. Right? And then, there were other times where I flew down to Florida with her to kick it with my family because it was my birthday. I had, it was my 30th, so we went all out. For my birthday, I brought my friends down to Florida with me from New York, and I hung out with my friends, and we just went crazy. So my mom doesn't really know all these things, right? So fast forward, it's like Valentine's Day, or coming up to it, and I think I planned a day where I think we did some archery or something like that, like shooting arrows and stuff like that. And then afterwards, like, it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah. And
then we went to dinner.
Okay.
Right? We went to dinner, and then we were having a conversation. I was just trying to, like, just have like a real, like, heart-to-heart conversation with her and just be like, yo, some of the stuff I'm feeling, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't remember how the conversation got to this point, but like she basically got to a point where like she was saying things proudly along the lines of like, like saying stuff like, oh, I don't really need a man, or I don't really need you type stuff. Now, mind you, I'm with her over a year.
Yeah.
She's saying this to me on Valentine's Day. What the freaking thing, right? After I take her out, do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how could you say that? Especially today, right? Now, today, fast forward, I don't really care for Valentine's Day. I just don't give a shit about the day.
But women do.
Women do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, I don't care. But at the time, I was like honoring us in a relationship. Took her out, we're doing stuff or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I don't really need. And I was almost pleading with her. I'm like, how could you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if when you're in a relationship, like you're building together to the point where you guys are like, you're contributing to each other's lives. Like,
right.
So to say you don't need me on Valentine's Day, like you don't see how crazy that it's like, you know, how weird is it to need somebody? I mean, you know, I'm my own woman. I'm like, yeah, but like I could say as a man, like I need a good woman in my life because I feel like there's a lot of good things that could come from that.
Mm-hmm.
For you to say you don't like, then what am I doing here? That's what I told her, and I was just turned off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we came back from back to the building after that, I was just kind of turned off. And I was supposed to spend the night at her place.
Mm-hmm.
And I just decided not to. I said, yo, I'm going to the crib. And I just went, right? And then after that, like I kind of like stopped. I didn't, I wasn't calling her, I wasn't texting. I was just kind of like pissed off. And eventually when I got to it, I told her, I said, yo, we need to, at that time, the reason why I was going to spend the night at her crib is because at that time I had already moved to another building.
Gotcha.
Right? So then I told her, I said, yo, one night I was like, yo, we got to talk. Mm-hmm. At this time, I'm planning on breaking up with her that night, right?
Because of what she said.
Yeah, and overall, but that was like, you gonna put me through all that, and then on Valentine's Day, tell me you don't even like, what am I doing here as a man? I'm doing it to myself at this point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So then I was like, all right. I'm like, okay, I said, we got to talk. Mm-hmm. I'm coming over. She's like, okay. So I drove from Bed-Stuy to Crown Heights or whatever. I think it was Prospect Heights, somewhere in between, whatever. And I go, this is where it gets really hilarious. I walk into her apartment as she opens the door. Mm-hmm. You know, she hugs me and everything. Mm-hmm. All smiles and stuff. I walk into the apartment and I smell something. And I walk into the kitchen. She got a whole spread of food she made.
That she made? Oh,
bro,
shit.
That she made.
Okay.
Food I've never showed her how to make.
Gotcha.
She's just making all kinds. Some of it was stuff that she saw me make, but she made like enough food for like 6 people, what it looked like. Mm-hmm. But she made it all for me. Right? All this food.
Right.
Right? In my mind, I'm like, what? I was confused. Right? Because I struggled just to get her to make me a single sandwich. All of a sudden, there's a spread. It's just, I don't get it. Right? So I was confused. So part of me was like, is she just like, this is her way of saying she's sorry? Is this whatever? So then I sat down. I was just like, am I making a mistake by coming over here to break up with her?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was working. And then I'm sitting there looking, I didn't touch the food yet. Right? And she was like, putting the final touches on it and everything. Yeah. And then I was like, before I even touched the food, before we even got any further in the conversation, I asked her, I said, I thought you didn't know how to cook. Mm. That's what I said. And she's like, well, I do. I just don't want to feel like just being a servant to and then at that point I snapped back into it. What I came here for. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, now I remember. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's one thing for you to not know how to cook and you don't want to learn how to cook. Yeah. And you knowing something and you're purposely withholding value from a relationship because of petty shit. Yeah. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Right? So then I was like, okay, yeah, we got to talk in your room. So I didn't want to talk around the food. Yeah. And I also didn't want to talk in the living room because I didn't know if her roommates was there. I didn't know if they would come home. Yeah. Whatever. So I was like, yo, let's go to your room real quick. We talked and I told her, I said, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. This ain't gonna work. And I said, we gotta break up. We're not a thing anymore. And then she started breaking down crying. Crazy. Mm-hmm. And I was a little confused about her crying because where's the I don't need a man? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who cries over somebody they don't need?
Well, what do you think that comment stemmed from?
What comment?
Of her not needing.
I think it was a protective mechanism to make her feel less small in a environment that she deems as very patriarchal, right? She wants to feel like she's her own woman. She wants to feel powerful, feminism, this, that, and third. So they breed that into you mentally when you hear these things. So she said that. So you could say you don't need a man, but then you cry when you lose one. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I never like shamed her for having whatever beliefs she had, because again, I was very open-minded. In that sense, probably more than I should have been.
Right.
But when it came and bled into my life, into my relationship, I was just like, I had to put my foot down at some point. It took me over a year to do it. But like, so she's crying and stuff like that. And I'm just kind of stone cold. I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is. And then before I could leave, she's like, can you at least tell me why? I'm like, really? You really want to do this right now? You really want to do this? She's like, can you at least tell me why? Why you breaking up with me? And I was like, she's like, you really want me? I repeated multiple times, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And I was telling her, so I was like, okay, cool. You asked for it. I said, okay, number one. And so everything I told in this story, I kind of regurgitated some of these things and that accumulated. And then she was just like, oh, I don't know if she was just playing dumb or she was really that dumb. I couldn't really tell, right? Because she seemed genuinely like flabbergasted. I was just like, damn, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, I understand that. I'm like, yeah, it's too late. I already see you as this person that's like very vindictive, like you hate men. You know, I invested all this time on you, and you know, it shouldn't take for me to break up with you for you to value who you with. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? So I was just like, all right. So I was like, yeah, and I told her this, ba 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 ba, right?
Right.
And then after I told her, I said, yo, but seriously, yo, I gotta go. So I gave her a hug.
You didn't take no food?
Bro, no, I'm not touching none of that feminist food.
To a plate, man.
You got me. I'm not taking that, bro. That's petty. That's petty. You know what I'm saying? And you know how she protective she is about just her plates, her actual plates.
That's true.
Not just what's on the plate, right?
Yeah, she had to go in the room.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
It don't make sense.
She needs a plate, but she don't need a man. Anyway, so I gave her a hug. I gave her one last hug, but it was one of those, you know when you hug somebody, but they don't want to let you go?
Yeah.
So I hugged her and I start letting go, and she still, when I let go, she hangs on tighter as if she's about to fall.
Yeah.
Type stuff. And I can sense her crying with no noise. It was gut wrenching.
Does that do a thing to you? Like, does it hurt you to hurt somebody?
It did.
All right.
It really did.
Yeah.
Because a part of me was just like, damn, maybe I'm making a mistake. But I had to fight to be like, nah, bro, you owe yourself this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you can't keep punishing yourself for this because of somebody else's feelings. Like you can't do that. So she hugged me for like a long time, and you could feel her vibrate, but she's crying, but she's trying not to be like, whatever. And eventually, when I was able to let go, and I said, all right, listen, I gotta go. And then I walk out. As I'm starting to walk out of her room, she starts screaming and yelling and crying.
Yeah.
And then I don't look back.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing crying loudly. Obviously, her roommates wasn't home because I would have heard something maybe.
Right.
So she's crying and whatever. And she did the weirdest thing when I finally walked out of the apartment door. She did this thing where like, as I hear her like crying and screaming, she does this thing where she slams the door, opens it, slams it open, slams open, so you can hear the crying, but the crying comes in. I was just like,
nuts.
And then as that was happening, my shoulders jerked because it was loud. It was echoing through the hallways of the apartment building. And I was just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, but part of me was like, damn, I did that to her. But in reality, like I had to do it for myself. So that happened. And that was how we broke up.
You never like came back.
So
like, you don't really break up right then and there. You always have that little comeback. You call.
I don't
meet up again. You know.
So if there's one thing, and I've said this on my podcast, Introspect Club Podcast. Make sure y'all check it out. On my podcast, I mentioned that like I've always for quite some time, like when I break up with somebody, I don't talk to you again. Like it's done.
At all?
At all.
Can't even be friends?
Nah.
Ah, damn.
Nah, and the reason being is for two reasons, right? And I mentioned this on one of my episodes.
See if that's on the Haitian list.
Stop it. I don't know. I don't want to speak on that because I don't want to be the spokesperson for like, Haitians. But like what happens is like I knew that what I fell for was an image of who I thought she was.
Right.
When I snapped to it, I knew the person that I fell for didn't really exist. So the person that I would stay in touch with, I don't even know.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just my issue. And then also, I also knew that like, because I was actually looking for love, looking for real connection, I didn't want ex-girlfriend baggage. If there's one thing I've never really had is ex-girlfriend baggage because so it was like a gift and a curse. Like, yeah, I always felt people for the wrong reasons that didn't really exist, but also helped it become easier for me not to keep ex-girlfriends just lingering around.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense, yeah.
So that's the reason. But I will say this, because she stayed friends with some of my female friends, as well as some of my homeboys' girlfriends or wives, she was always in the mix in conversations because my girlfriends favored her. They're like, you and Rachel are gonna get back together. You guys were so good together. And I never told them the story. They thought I was a dirtbag.
Sheesh.
They looked at me as like, these men, they just want to be out here in these streets. They
right.
And these are my own friends telling me this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to talk like necessarily bad on her, right?
Yeah.
Because one, they were still hanging out. So I was just like, yo, I just wasn't for me. And I just kept it like that. I wasn't talking bad, whatever. And, but I just ate it as the bad guy. That's just a lot of men take that heat. Anyway.
I understand that.
So eventually, years later, once they started, they were hanging out with her, they probably started picking up on some of her quirks, and then they got to know the details and stuff like that. So whatever on that. But there was one time I was at a party, not a party, I went to a rooftop event.
Yeah.
Right? And she was there because one of my, she was still hanging out with one of my homegirls, and they warned me that she was going to be there. I was like, all right, whatever. And it was several months since I had seen her. It might have been even a year, maybe, I don't know. And I knew she was going to be there. So when I saw her there, I was just like, all right, whatever. So I saw her, and then I gave her a hug. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Whatever. And, I chopped her, how you been? We chopped it up for a little bit. But then in my mind, I was like, and then I ended up driving her home that day because we just trying to, I was just being nice, right? Drove her home, and it was funny because, like, throughout the whole time when I was with her, I always talked about that I wanted this this car, this drop top convertible. I wanted this very specific car, white, red interior, and I kept talking about it throughout the relationship, but I never had it at that time. And this is petty.
All right.
This is petty. So then when I drove her home, she got in the car. She was like, wait a minute. Isn't this the car you were always talking about? I was like, yeah. Like, you actually got it? I was like, yeah, I got that shit. And it's just like, oh, wow. And the apartment was like, you got me back, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of petty. It was kind of petty. But when because she's the one who mentioned it. I didn't even think about it because it was a while since I had seen her. So, but anyway, so she kept in touch with me. She, whatever. So I felt because it was so comfortable just kicking it with somebody else familiar. Yeah. I invited her out just to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be this guy that just, erases everybody. And then one thing that happened when I would try to hang out with her again, that reminded me of the very reason why I broke up with her. And this was finally sealed the deal. I was just like, yeah, I'm never staying in contact with her. So I had an extra key to the building where I was living at.
All right.
And I think I know why we're meeting. I had an extra key, and I think each key in the building cost like I think $150.
Jeez, yeah.
To replace. Because you need key fobs and all that, right?
Yeah.
And I had an extra key for multiple reasons. But I did give back my keys to the building, but I had an extra one for some reason. And she was like, because in order for her to get an extra one, she would have to pay $150. So she's like, hey, do you have an extra key? I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I got to pay $150 to get one from the building. You have an extra one, right? I said, yeah. I said, I can give it to you, but I'll give it to you for $75. That's what I said to her.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need $75. I was just like, I'm like, if we're friends now, this is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I said, I'll give you the key for $75. And I think we're supposed to meet up, give her the key or whatever the hell it was. And then she texted me. She's like, why don't you just give me the key? I was like, because I said it was $75.
Yeah.
Like, don't play with me. I don't care about $75. I don't want people to think I'm in need of $75.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a principle. The honor system is just like, I'm doing you a favor. You go pay $150. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna drag me in this. I don't care. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's $75 because she had originally agreed with it, and then she's like, why don't you just give it to me? I'm like, because I said it was $75. And then she started throwing her tissy fit and just I can tell. See, why can't you just da 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 da? I was like, all right, cool. It's been real. And I just left it at that. And I think that was the last time.
Man,
yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah, bro.
What would you say is the biggest lesson learned from this whole thing?
That's easy, bro. Like, I think over the course of the years, it didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
But like, I did the best I could to try to get to know people and understand. My brother put me on this because he noticed my pattern before I did. He was like, bro, like, he's like, you're doing too much. He says, like, you try to go in deep before you even know
who the person
is.
Yeah.
You expect so much out of people because you're great. You do your thing, and I don't want to say great, like I'm like this awesome person. Like, you put your foot in, so you expect other people to automatically mirror you. He's like, you got to figure out who they are.
They got to have it in them.
You know what I'm saying? Because if whoever they are is not natural to begin with, like, you're just gonna try to get blood out of a rock. It's like, it's not gonna make sense. He didn't say those exact words, but that's just what the mix of it was. And I started, paying attention to that, and it made it a lot easier for me to kind of like navigate, even though not every relationship was like, the most successful, since then. But it made me
learn from it, yeah,
and navigate through the BS that I was blinded from before.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, all right. You learn just to learn who you with before you jump into things all crazy. All right.
And I also learned who I was,
Mm-hmm.
why I was triggered by things, and how to really, address it sooner than later, rather than wait until like you're on Valentine's Day being told nonsense. Like, it's crazy.
Right.
Because, you invest a lot before you actually know yourself. It's kind of crazy.
Now, how did you heal from that relationship?
That's a great question. I think one of the biggest, I don't want to call it trauma because it's going to seem dramatic, but it gave me this fear that like no one's ever going to have my back. Right?
No one?
In terms of in relationships.
Okay.
Right? It gave me this fear like women were selfish, women were vindictive, especially I don't want to say all women, like particularly the ones that were like extremely strong-minded.
Mm-hmm.
It triggered me to be like, you're one of those. Right? But it didn't stay in my mind that for that long. It's just that was the immediate whatever. But I had to remind myself, no, Jeff, get to know people first.
Mm-hmm.
Get to know who they are. Get to know what triggers them, what makes them tick.
Yeah.
Before you expect anything out of them, and also before you can make any assumptions about who they are. So I didn't stay in that mindset for a long time, but that was just where I landed right after.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And I started reading more books. I started talking to the right people. That kind of, and I also started, thankfully I have family members that are in successful relationships. Yeah. And I started spending more time with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What other question I was gonna have? Damn, you said something. I thought about it. I forgot. But for somebody going through a heartbreak or a breakup, what's some advice you would give them?
Somebody going through heartbreak. See, The advice I'm gonna give is not an advice that you should only adhere to after a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that you should carry with you over the course of your existence as you move through the world relating with people. Like, spend time always learning, whether it's yourself or the people around you. Just always be learning, because what you learn can give you proper perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So that way your emotions don't become the only thing that drive your mindset, right? So what I had to do is I had to learn about what triggers me, who I am. And it helped me, for lack of a better word, heal, because I just like, this happened because this is how I was. This is what I responded to. I started learning myself. And if you do that during and before the relationship, it makes it easier to move on in the next one, because I'm like, I know why this ended, because this is who I was. This is what I contributed. Right. And then when you're in a relationship, like, pay attention, like, to who you're with, in a way where, like, you're constantly just like you're going to class, like you're just learning that person, you're communicating, because there's nothing worse than, like, you're in a. One thing I'll say is, like, at the end of that relationship that I just gave a whole spiel about, the fact when she asked me why, I've never had to give a why. So it was the first time I've ever had to articulate to someone, right? And maybe that helped her after, I don't know. But, like, that, her asking me why, just further reinforced the significance of knowing what mattered to someone. And unfortunately, it happened at the breakup. If those whys came in at the beginning, either the relationship never would have lasted that long, or maybe there would have been.
She would have learned from it,
or both, whatever. I don't know.
You
see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Got you. All right. Learn, just keep learning. Never stop learning. Got it. If she stumbles upon this episode, right?
Yo, you are trash.
I'm just saying, if she stumbles upon this episode,
she gonna know who she is. She gonna know who she is.
Yeah, and says, nah, he left some stuff out. I want to say my piece. What you think she'll say about you?
What she'll say about me?
Yeah.
I really don't know. I mean, in terms of good or bad, or
just anything.
I don't know. I think what she'll say, which I think a lot of my exes will say, is like, I'm a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In a multitude.
In what way? Yeah.
Well, one, like, how much stuff I expected from her. Right? And as well as, like, how I am socially. Right? Like, I'm very, like, mind you, this is back then. Right? Like, I've learned to, like, be a little bit more, like, conscious of, like, how I am affects the person I'm with. So I coach myself a little bit better. But like, they'll say, like, socially, like, I'm like, and this sounds like I'm bragging, but it's a detriment in certain situations. Like, I'm very social. I draw a lot of attention when I'm at parties or when I'm out and about, and so on and so forth. And for some people who aren't like that, it could be either intimidating, annoying, or just problematic, or they have misconceptions. So she might say that she's gonna say, oh, he used to flirt with all these other. She'll say that. I never, you know what I'm saying? I never cheated on her, but at the same time, that probably drew some insecurities. What else could she say about me? I don't know, because she hates men. She's probably gonna say I'm misogynistic. She's probably gonna say that, like, I want, like, these traditional things that are outdated, and I'm like, I really don't. Like, I'm more like partnership. Like, I do this, we could do the same thing together. It's just a matter of, like, at some point, like,
just put some effort in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but again, I'm not here to defend myself. You told me what she would say about me. But I don't know how she is now.
Okay.
I haven't spoken to her in years.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if anything changed. I did run into her in different, like, events, and I see her, I just wave or give her a hug, but keep it moving.
You don't know her.
But I don't know her like that.
Gotcha.
So,
last but not least, the song you would like to dedicate to your ex.
You really ain't shit, dude. Deuces.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown, Deuces.
That's the first.
That's the first?
Yeah.
No, how is that not?
Everybody loved that Big Sean song.
Which song is that?
I Don't Fuck With You. That one.
Oh, no. Deuces.
But yeah, you get a lot of songs on here, but that Big Sean song is like number one.
Oh,
like the first go-to.
Deuces, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? With all your links and IGs, all of that?
Yeah. So you guys can find me on my IG, j.damisse for my personal, but I do have a podcast called the Introspect Club. It's Introspect_club. It's where we have conversations with people who have like unique or crazy life experiences that no one's ever seen or experienced before. And we get into the mindset and we learn about people that you're very unfamiliar with. Like we have crazy people. We had like, professional cuddlers. We're trying to figure out like
professional cuddler?
Professional cuddlers. I had what is it? Sugar babies.
All right.
Right? Into life of that. I had what is it? There was a guy, women pay him to give like sexual massages.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of that on Twitter.
Yeah, I was seeing a lot of those, but I interviewed somebody that was doing that.
All right. A black dude?
Yeah.
You gotta tell me the name after this.
Yeah. Check out the podcast. Introspect Club.
I've seen something. I was like,
yeah. So the episode that I don't know when this episode is gonna air, but like the episode that I have coming is I have this black dude who he moved to Japan to marry this Japanese woman.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me these crazy stories about his experience as a black man in Japan. Because when you're experiencing like,
do they even like us over there?
Well, find out.
Right.
That's the thing. It's just like so left field and what you experience as somebody that looks so different and that has such a different lifestyle in a place where everyone's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And then to marry a Japanese woman in that culture, meeting her parents and then they have a child together that's mixed, and his experience in schools and then also flying back and forth, going to like that whole thing is just wild. That's
different.
Yeah. So make sure you guys check out that story. We talk about a lot of things. So yeah.
Man, Jeff, good having you on the podcast.
Yeah.
It was the day of. First day of. And look, we almost 2 hours in.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it.
No problem,
especially
brother.
having it on video.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
And that's been Views of an X.
Views of an X, man. Make sure you guys check out that pod, man. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.